Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So we're just doing a reading. It's a little early and unfortunately cold again, so we're not going outside. So here we are at the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda.
Oh my days.
Lord Chaitanya there also. So anyway, sorry about that. Okay.
Alright, it's Canto 4, Chapter 2, Text 28.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Text 28. One who takes a vow to satisfy Lord Shiva, or who follows such principles, will certainly become an atheist and be diverted from transcendental scriptural injunction.
This is the counter curse of, I think, who's it? Brigu.
Purport. It is sometimes seen that devotees of Lord Shiva imitate the characteristics of Lord Shiva. For example, Lord Shiva drank an ocean of poison, so some of the followers of Lord Shiva imitate him and try to take intoxicants like ganja, marijuana. Well, that's not an ocean of poison, but I suppose it is poison because drugs is poison, so don't do drugs.
Yes, Nancy.
Just say no.
Well, anyway, we can have a whole conversation about that.
Finished it. Here the curse is that if someone follows such principles, he must become an infidel and turn against the principles of Vedic regulation. It is said that such devotees of Lord Shiva will be Shastra Paripantina, which means opposed to the conclusion of Shastra or scripture. This is confirmed in the Padma Purana also. Lord Shiva was ordered by the Supreme Personality of Godhead to preach the impersonal or Mayavad philosophy for a particular purpose, just as Lord Buddha preached the philosophy of voidness for particular purposes mentioned in the Shastras. Yeah, so it's true though, you see people, youngsters and old people, they think they're Lord Shiva followers and they walk around like half naked and they have dreadlocks. You see them all the time, and then like they're not...
Same all the time where?
In India.
Okay.
And in the media. And they're like dirty because they think this is Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva's actually always meditating on the Supreme Lord, and he is designated or recognized in the scriptures as the greatest Vaishnav. So yeah, it's quite anyway, so it's like people don't understand, you know, like it's like people look at Lord Krishna and then they're like, yes, Sahajas, whatever, we'll enjoy with women and we'll do this and that because he's with the gopis and he does the rasa dance. So it's not quite the same. Like Prabhupada says, if you want to do that, lift up Govardhan Hill with your little finger, or swallow some fire like he swallowed the forest fire. So in the same way, these people who are following or think they're following Shiva, he meditates every day, all day. That's what he does. He's always in that trance, so but I don't think they could do that.
I think it's interesting that Srila Prabhupada makes this point that this curse, at least what I understood, he may say more in the rest of the purport, we'll see, but at least from this, it seems that Prabhupada is alluding to the fact that Lord Shiva appears as Shankaracharya, and misleads people from the conclusion of scriptural injunctions, which is actually what, well, no, Buddha led people away from scriptural injunction, and Shankaracharya kind of tried to lead people back, but it seems that Prabhupada is corroborating that this curse is what happened, and part of the reason why Lord Shiva took birth as Shankaracharya. And still, Mayavad is very deadly, misrepresentation, as Prabhupada would say, of our philosophy. Anyway, next paragraph. Sometimes it is necessary to preach a philosophical doctrine which is against the Vedic conclusion. Okay. In the Shiv Purana, it is stated that Lord Shiva said to Parvati that in Kali Yuga, in the body of a Brahmana, he would preach the Mayavad philosophy. There you go. Thus, it is generally found that the worshippers of Lord Shiva are Mayavad followers. Lord Shiva himself says, Mayavadam asat shastram. Asat Shastra, as explained here, means the doctrine of Mayavad, impersonalism, or becoming one with the Supreme. Bhrigu Muni cursed the persons who worshipped Lord Shiva, Lord Shiva would become followers of this Mayavad, Asat Shastra, which attempts to establish the Supreme Personality of Godhead as impersonal. Beside that, among the worshippers of Lord Shiva, there is a section who live a devilish life. Srimad Bhagavatam and Narada Pancharatra are authorized scriptures that are considered Sat Shastra, or scriptures which lead one to the path of God realization. Asat Shastras are just the opposite. Excuse me. So a lot of information about functioning in accordance with Shastra or against Shastra, and also, as mentioned before, that Lord Shiva, appeared as Shankaracharya, a Brahmin who preached Mayavad philosophy. But Prabhupada says, Lord Shiva himself says, Mayavadam asat shastram. Asat Shastra, as explained here, means the doctrine of Mayavad and personalism, or becoming one with the Supreme. But it sounds like Lord Shiva himself says Mayavadam asat shastram, which means Mayavad is against Shastra. So that's interesting. Okay.
Text 29. Those who vow to worship Lord Shiva are so foolish that they imitate him by keeping long hair on their heads. Didn't I say that? They're dreadlock. When initiated into worship of Lord Shiva, they prefer to live on wine, flesh, and other such things.
Yikes.
Pop, pop. Indulging in wine and meat, keeping long hair on one's head, not bathing daily, and smoking ganja, marijuana, are some of the habits which are accepted by foolish creatures who do not have regulated lives.
Well, that just describes so many people that Prabhupada was
saving.
Initiating.
Yeah.
Well, of course, he wasn't initiating him at that time, but even,
Hippies.
Yeah.
Hippies.
Yeah. I'm one.
Now you're happy.
Okay, carry on.
Hippie to happy, as Prabhupada said. By such behavior, one becomes devoid of transcendental knowledge. In the initiation into the Shiva mantra, there are mudrikastaka, in which it is sometimes recommended that one make his sitting place on the vagina. Okay. And thus derive nirvana, or dissolution of existence. In that process of worship, Wine is needed, okay, or sometimes in place of wine, palm tree juice, which is converted into an intoxicant. This is also offered according to Shiva Agama, a scripture on the method of worshipping Lord Shiva. So, people who are hippies and who they have long hair and they indulge in all this other stuff, they think they're worshipping Shiva or pleasing Shiva.
Yeah, I think the point is, as Prabhupada also often says, eat, drink, and be merry. And he often says wine and women. Here we have meat included. So the point is that in the name of worship, one is simply indulging the senses. And that's probably hardly the worship of Lord Shiva. He drank an ocean of poison as a service to the Lord. It wasn't because he wanted to get intoxicated. And, he's actually one of the most self-controlled personalities, that he's so self-controlled that even his wife can sit on his lap while he gives Bhagavatam class and he's not disturbed. He was allured, I just was listening to this recently, allured by Mohini Murti, the form of Krishna when he takes the form of an attractive woman to steal the nectar back from the demons. And Shiva missed that, even though it happened during the ocean of milk churning, but because he drank the poison, he wasn't there somehow. He missed it. So he wanted to see it, and he became allured by her. But everyone was shocked that Lord Shiva even became allured by Mohini Murti. So he's self-controlled. So all this stuff, being connected with women, drinking wine, and intoxication, what does that got to do with Lord Shiva? So it's like that. We can extrapolate ideas, concepts, thoughts, and try to make them something else, to justify our desires for sense gratification. But Lord Shiva is so kind that he condones all these people also. In one sense, he's the support of the bhutas and the ghosts and hobgoblins and everything else. So what to speak of a few people who are attached to wine and women? He's also trying to assist them, and if they come to him, then slowly they'll also get purified and get an opportunity to go to Krishna.
Alright, text 30.
I think it's my turn, right?
Oh, yes.
Bhrigu Muni continued, since you blaspheme the Vedas and the Brahmanas, who are followers of the Vedic principles, it is understood that you have already taken shelter of the doctrine of atheism. Purport. Bhrigu Muni is cursing Nandishvara, said that not only would they be degraded as atheists because of this curse, but they had already fallen to the standard of atheism because they had blasphemed the Vedas, which are the source of human civilization. Human civilization is based on the qualitative divisions of social order, namely the intelligent class, the martial class, the productive class, and the laborer class. The Vedas provide the right direction for advancing in spiritual cultivation and economic development and regulating the principle of sense gratification so that ultimately one may be liberated from material contamination to his real state of spiritual identification, aham brahmasmi. As long as one is in the contamination of material existence, one changes bodies from the aquatics up to the position of Brahma, but the human form of life is the highest perfectional life in the material world. The Vedas give directions by which to elevate oneself to the next life. The Vedas are the mother for such instructions, and the Brahmanas, or persons who are in knowledge of the Vedas, are the father. Thus, if one blasphemes the Vedas and Brahmanas, naturally one goes down to the status of atheism. The exact word used in Sanskrit is nastika, which refers to one who does not believe in the Vedas, but manufactures some concocted system of religion. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has said that the followers of the Buddhist system of religion are Nastikas. In order to establish his doctrine of nonviolence, Lord Buddha flatly refused to believe in the Vedas. And thus later on, Shankaracharya stopped this system of religion in India and forced it to go outside India. Here it is stated, Brahma cha Brahmanan. Brahma means the Vedas. Aham Brahmasmi means I am in full of knowledge. I am in full knowledge. The Vedic assertion is that one should think that he is Brahman, for actually he is Brahman. If Brahma or the Vedic spiritual science is condemned, and the masters of the spiritual science, the Brahmanas, are condemned, then where does human civilization stand? Bhrigu Muni said, it is not due to my cursing that you shall become atheists. You are already situated in the principle of atheism. Therefore, you are condemned. Very interesting. Yeah, that was very long purport, but Srila Prabhupada making some very powerful points about the potency of the Vedas being like mother, Brahmanas being like father, giving sustenance, birth, life, nourishment, guidance, all of those things to whoever takes shelter of them, and that the followers of Lord Shiva aren't damned because of him cursing them. His cursing is simply an exhibition of a state of consciousness they've already achieved for cursing the Brahmanas and the Vedas. So it's not that because I say this that you're going to, create some philosophy against the doctrine of Scripture. You're already doing it because you curse the Brahmanas and the Vedas. So what is there? You're just an atheist anyhow. So interesting points. Okay. Should we stop there?
Yeah, look at the...
Oh, it's a long purport.
The next purport is like ginormous, so...
Ginormous.
We'll call it a day.
Call it a day and a night.
She'll continue next time.
Okay, thank you for tuning in to the Bhagavatam Bites. Please remember to like,
comment,
subscribe,
and share.
And if anyone wants a set of Srimad Bhagavatams, please let us know. There's some beautiful Bhagavatams available, sets, and we can even do an installation ceremony at your house. We will come and we will install the Bhagavatam with Kirtan, read the Bhagavatam together, do a little arti, everything, and put it in your house, and then we will take the cellophane off at least the first canto and encourage the reading of the first canto. So let us know. We're happy to...
If you want that, then we'll also do a Bhagavatam Bites in your home as an inauguration.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. So there you go. So we're putting it out there. Maybe we'll put some... Maybe she will put some blurb in the description box. To let you all know that this is a possibility. Okay. Happy to do it. Be nice to do one a week until September, so that'd be quite a few.
Okay.
I gotta set a goal. All right, Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you very much. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai.